Hello everyone, this is Mayank Pant, a member of Competitive Programming Group, IIT BHU. Today I'm going to be discussing problem C, complex market analysis, that came in the recent Codeforces DILTX round, rated for Div 1 and Div 2. So I'll read out the problem statement first. It says we are given an array of size n and a natural number e. Now we need to calculate the number of pairs of natural numbers I, k which satisfy the following conditions. Both I and k need to be greater than or equal to 1. I plus e times k needs to be less than or equal to n. And the product ai plus e, ai plus 2 times e, up till ai plus k times e needs to be a prime number. Now we make an important observation here. Since a prime number is a natural number greater than 1 that is not a product of two smaller natural numbers, only one of these elements can be equal to a prime number and the rest of them have to be equal to 1. This is because let's say we choose two prime numbers, then the product would be equal to the product of two prime numbers. And since it can be written as a product of two smaller natural numbers, the product term would not be a prime number. So basically this problem boils down to finding a prime number and k minus 1 other elements, each of which is equal to 1, and all of these elements are separated by exactly e minus 1 elements. Let's take a look at an example for further clarity. Let's say we have found a prime number p at the rth index and we have found 3 ones ahead of it and 2 ones behind it, and each of these elements is separated by e minus 1 other elements, or we can say that the indices differ by exactly e. So in order to find the number of pairs I, k, we can break our solution into two cases. The first case being when r is equal to I or r is equal to I plus ke. Basically when r is equal to one of the bounds. So let's say r is equal to I, then the pairs would be of the form r, r plus e, r, r plus 2e, r, r plus 3. Basically the number of ones ahead of p. And if we take r equals to I plus ke, then the pairs would be of the form r minus 2e, r, r minus e, r. Basically the number of ones behind p. So the total answer for our case 1 would be equal to the number of ones on either side of p, which in our case would be equal to 2 plus 3, that is 5. Now the second case would be when the bounds are on either side of our prime number p. So the numbers would be the pairs would be of the form r minus e, r plus e, r minus e, r plus 2e. Basically using our counting principle, the number of pairs that we would be able to form would be equal to the product of the number of ones on either side of p, which in our case would be equal to 2 times 3, that is 6. So our total answer would be 2 plus 3 plus 2 times 3 equals 11. Generally we could say, let's say if the number of ones ahead of p is r and the number of ones behind p is l, then the answer to this case would be l plus r plus l times r. Now let's move on to the implementation of our solution. Here I have declared a boolean array prime which maintains whether a number is prime or not. Now pre-computed all the primes that lie between 1 and 10 to the power 6 using Sieve of Eratosthenes. Now coming to the main part, we have declared variables n, e and an array a of n elements. We have declared and initialized a variable answer which would store the final answer to our problem. Now we run a loop between 0 and n, and we have declared two variables l and r for our solution. Now the variable l would store the number of ones that lie behind our prime number, and r would store the number of ones that would lie after our prime number. So let's say we found a prime number at the ith index and it is not equal to 1. Now we run two loops in order to find the number of ones on either side of a prime number. So we have initialized j to I plus e. It runs up till n, and after each iteration we increment j by e. If the jth element is equal to 1, we increment r by 1, otherwise we break this loop. Similarly, in order to find the number of ones behind our ith element, we initialize j to I minus c, and after each iteration j would be decremented by e. If the jth element is equal to 1, we would increment L by 1, otherwise we are going to break it. And as we had derived in this example earlier, our answer would be incremented by this number, L plus R plus L times R. And after the whole array is iterated or traversed, we would output our final answer. So yeah, that's it. This is the solution. If you liked my solution to this problem, please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such solutions and other informative videos. Thank you guys.